Welcome to the Dollars and Cents podcast with Wes the Economist and Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist. We're reporting to you live from the Wave Beach Realty Studios in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Give us a call today at 843-957-3872. All right, guys, welcome back into the Dollars and Cents podcast with Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist. I'm Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist.
Jonathan.
He's Wes the Economist.
Friday
It's a Friday. It's a Friday, guys.
Long week
Bear
for
with
both
us.
of us. Been a long week.
Yes,
my
long
mind's
week.
checked out. I'm waiting for Jonathan's to check it out with me.
I'm getting there. I obviously just introduced myself as Wes the Economist, so we're
Good.
I'd have to be a lot
Good.
smarter.
Monday morning in my office, you can go take care of his exams.
I would quit your job immediately. I couldn't deal with those kids. Nope. I'd be the next school shooter at that school. I'm joking. That's a joke, but I couldn't deal with those
kids.
Should we
restart this?
No,
That's
we're
not
fine.
pretty. You sure?
Yeah. No, I would not be a school shooter.
No. But the AI is going to pick that up now. I'm going to toast on this.
You think they're going to be like, the poster's a school shooter. We got to take this one down. Yeah, they've already flagged enough of my videos.
They've flagged enough of your videos. That might be what takes us over the cliff because it's not like they actually listen to what we said. All it's going to do is the AI is going to pick up something.
I don't like that AI though. It doesn't take. It thinks I'm doing election advertising every week.
Well, you mentioned Trump's name, so you're in trouble.
Not all.
I just did it again.
There we go.
So this will be election.
This one's getting shot down for sure. Yeah, immediate flag.
Can't say Trump's name.
Yep.
I don't know.
So anyway, I would not do anything bad at a school. I'm just making a joke that schools are rough, and I just couldn't be in charge of kids, man.
I could give you some stories, but
I'm
anyway,
sure you got some good ones.
We were doing deportation on last quick clip, which brought up this video I saw of George Bush talking about. I guess it's before he was elected because he looked young, so it must have been before he was elected. But talking about the 1920s and what we went through with Americanism and kind of nationalism and isolationism. And he talked about what happened in the 1920s, which is kind of eerie because you think about it. At that point, we stopped immigration because we had too many Italians and I forget the other country that we had so many Scottish. Is it Scots? Anyway, they stopped. If you didn't know, we actually stopped all immigration completely, even legal. I mean, all of them were legal back then, but we didn't let anybody come in for a while.
Yeah.
We passed a Tariff Act in 1930, which led us into the beginning of the Great Depression. I don't think it caused the Great Depression. I think the government did, but it was definitely put us into a deep recession. Mm-hmm. And then just this idea of we want to protect our industries and protect our country and kind of pull away from the rest of the world. Okay. So he was saying all that like late 1990s into 2000. And then you fast forward 25 years, and what are we doing? We're passing tariffs, stopping immigration, and all this stuff. So the people are drawing parallels that this is bad. This is what led to 1930s and World War II. And I don't think it fits. I don't think it fits the same scenario. You can look back in history, and history does repeat itself. Yeah, of course. Or at least it rhymes. Yeah. But you also have to keep in mind that things are different than they were back in the 1920s.
Substantially.
100 years later. I mean, we're literally 100 years later. And back then, we were not the biggest economy in the world. So us putting tariffs on really hurt us because we had a lot of exports going out of our country. Mm-hmm. And now our economy has a lot of imports coming in. And so that's different now with tariffs. Plus, I also think he's using tariffs as a negotiating tactic, yeah. Tactic, yeah, thank you. I told you my mind's gone. And then also with the immigration, those people they stopped back then was legal immigration because they all came through Ellis Island, all the mass migration into the country. In the last 4 years, we've had all this illegal immigration. Right. So people are drawing these parallels, and I think there's an issue there because it's not parallel.
Right. Yeah, it's totally different times. It's kind of, I mean, I know history repeats itself, but at the same time, there's just because some factors cause something then, because so many things are different now, doesn't necessarily mean those same things will. Now, we might make similar mistakes that still cause the same issues, but I don't know if the same exact factors drive the issues over time. Obviously, me and you both aren't really fans of tariffs. I'm fine using them to negotiate if it works. Yeah. It seems like it worked with most countries. I don't know about China. I don't think
the more I see, China's in trouble. The more I see coming out of there, they are literally. I mean, there's this one student was telling me about because he follows the Asian stuff, and he was talking about this thing. It basically translate the sayings translates "let it rot," and a bunch of young people in China they're not rebellion, but they're not working, and they're slowing the economy down on purpose, trying to cause change in the regime.
Yeah.
And they say the leader has put himself in a corner because on the one side, this stuff is hurting the country. On the other side, because of their society and what expectations, him as the male leader cannot back down, basically.
Right.
So he's got himself in a point that a lot of people are starting to think that he's in trouble. I don't know if that means the Communist Party folds. So I don't think so.
I doubt it. Yeah.
But
Take
I
a lot
definitely
to do
think
that.
all this is based again on trying to collapse China and stop them from being such a world power.
Right.
But it's going to hurt us with the imports. Except, I looked it up. I think we have between 400 and 700 billion in imports that come from China, and that's really not enough to affect our market. The problem is, it's a lot of high-profile stuff like your iPhone, or when you go to somewhere to get cheap stuff like Walmart, you're definitely going to see it.
Right.
Did you see what Amazon was going to put that number up on the website about how much price went up because of tariffs?
No, are they doing that?
Well, last week they said they were going to put a somewhere to click so you could see how much this price went up because of Trump's tariffs. And then Bezos and Trump had a phone call, and
that stopped.
It went away.
That's funny.
Which brings up another topic of people are comparing him to Hitler again. He's totalitarian. I think I figured this out. When you look back through history and you see some of the greatest leaders, whether they be evil or good, what do you see about them?
They're hated.
They're hated, but they're very charismatic.
Always, yeah.
And they can capture an audience.
Yep.
So looking at the characteristics, especially a friend of mine was talking about, they're worried that he's going to become Chavez, is what they're comparing him to. Because Chavez is like this, he's like this. But they're looking at all the personality traits, and these traits are the same. Well, go back to other great leaders in history.
Yeah,
good or bad.
Churchill, anybody. Yeah,
good or bad, they have those same things. What you got to look at is the policies, and the policies Trump's putting forward are nothing like Chavez.
Right.
I think that's what you got to key in on.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, good leaders are going to be charismatic. That's how they get into power. People have faith in them and believe them. You got to have a lot of those same qualities. All leaders do.
Right.
That's part of being a leader. But what you actually do once you're in power, and what you said based off what you said you were going to do, which he's doing everything he pretty much said he was going to do. There's nothing he's really doing that's
See, we arrested 2 judges, right?
Yeah, it's wild.
But nobody's above the law.
Nobody's above the law.
Unless you're on that side. Then you're above the law.
Well, yeah. Are you looking to buy a home in North or South Carolina? You need to reach out to Wave Beach Realty today. We are a family-owned company with over 10 years of experience in North and South Carolina and operate along the Grand Strand. Give us a call today at 843-957-3872. That's 843-957-3872.
Mortgage payment, insurance payments, credit card payments, they can be very overwhelming. Are you ready to take the time to get things under control? Then reach out to me at Clark Financial Coaching to see if we can get you started with a budget and then a vision for the future. Write me at coachwesc@gmail.com. That's coachwesc@gmail.com.
Well, those. Yeah, well, I'm still. I mean, yeah. I just think it's crazy you can pardon yourself while you're in power and then get out of power, and they're like, well, if they find out anything, I'm good to go. Like a pre-pardon. That's still wild. It's like you are above the law. Who was it? Wasn't it Biden that had or Kamala or somebody the other day that said like nobody's above the law? Somebody was doing one of the liberals was doing a speech and said that, and then they were like, well, except you were above the law when you pardoned yourself.
Did Biden pardon himself? Did he?
I thought he pardoned himself as well. Yeah,
I know he pardoned all these other people. Which now they're saying because of the auto pen, is it really legal? Because did he really do it, or was one of his?
I'd argue that he didn't have the mental capacity to do anything that he signed.
I would think so. Hey, the whole thing's just the due process stuff with this guy in El Salvador. Did you see the new video coming out? He was caught in Tennessee with 8 people in his car.
Was that him? I saw something about.
Yeah, it was him. He had 8 people in the car. And the police on duty, especially a long timer, come up and said, "Pull them out. You'll find toothbrush and toothpaste. There's no luggage. This is human trafficking. We know it is." Right. So, and sure enough, I guess that's what they had in their pocket. And they called the FBI, local office, said, "Hey, we got this going on." And Biden's FBI pretty much said, "No, just let them go."
Yeah.
So, and then there's a video come out with him with his wife, talking about how he beat her on her daughter's birthday and pulling her hair and all this kind of stuff. This is before. I mean, this is years ago.
Yeah.
All this is coming out. But yet they're still going down to bring him home, even though he is home. He's in El Salvador.
You know what's crazy? Like, they didn't even have this much when that one basketball player, the female basketball player, was stuck in Russia.
Yeah.
For having like a weed pen on her or
Yep.
something. And that, like, there wasn't even this much outrage to get her home during the Biden administration. And
Nah.
she was like a liberal, black, lesbian basketball player.
Yeah.
But like now
is crazy.
This
They have tied
MS-13
their-
maybe is, and I don't know how confirmed that actually is. But either way, he was here illegally. You got him. Why? So what is the reason? Maybe you know, maybe you don't. Why doesn't El Salvador want it? Because I think they tried to get him back. Or I heard,
The president was like, no, he's in trouble down here. He's a gang member. I put a stop to gangs down here. He's not going anywhere.
Is
So
that
I
what he
also
said?
wanted, I kind of want to Trump on the backside. Told him don't release him. But the president
Maybe.
down there is pretty much telling these Democrats to go pound
yeah,
sand.
he's turning that country around, right? A lot,
Yeah,
right?
I didn't know anything about it. I actually went to a food line up here in Little River, and I had just gotten back from Nicaragua, so I was speaking Spanish too much automatically. So this one lady who's checking me out actually spoke Spanish, so we started talking. I can't speak it, but anyway, she says she was in El Salvador, and I said, "Oh, that's a rough country," and she's like, "No, not anymore." I'm like, "What?" She says, "Oh, the president, a couple of years ago that we elected this president, he has cleaned the whole country." I said, "The whole country?" I said, "I was scared to go through there." She says, "No, it's one of the safest places in Central America now." So I started doing research, and sure enough, this guy went in there and just tore the whole thing.
He's like
It is
independent, right? He's not a
He's right leaning in the theology,
yeah.
but no, I don't know what he is, but he's tough on crime. He's filled prisons up there with gang members with lifetime sentences.
Yeah.
And they say now you can walk through San Salvador safely, which you could not 4 years ago.
Really?
It was one of that and was it Guatemala City or Honduras' capital? One of them you said you don't want to be in at all. And
Yeah.
he's completely cleaned up the whole country.
Wow.
And so he's like, no, he's a gang member. We'll take care of him. You're going about your stuff.
Yeah.
And the Democrats are having crazy. Due
It's-
process, all this crap about due process. He's a legal alien.
Yeah.
He did have 2 deportation orders. The only thing that was keeping him back was he was not safe to go back to El Salvador because a rival gang. Wait a minute. A rival gang? Would that mean he's a gang member?
Right,
But
right.
anyway, he's
Yeah.
in danger from them. But all of them are gone.
Oh, okay, so there's not a threat
Well,
to his life, and,
kinda
maybe in
think-
prison.
Well, I was going to say,
Yeah,
when
I
his
mean-
gang members in prison, I don't know if the president put MS-13 in one and the president in the other, what he did, but he's got it under control, so maybe he did.
Wow.
So he has no right to be here, but they just keep calling him a Maryland man, a family man. But if that's a family man, we're in trouble.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy what the outrage. It's just because he's in office too. It wouldn't if Biden had sent him out, you wouldn't hear about it. It just
Due
It's silly.
process, but yeah, how many people from January 6th? I still think we have some January 6th people sitting in jail.
oh, I'm sure there's
They
still
found
some.
other reasons to keep them.
Yeah.
Which I wish Trump would do something about because this is ridiculous.
Yeah,
But they got no due process, and they say that Washington jail was like a gulag,
yeah,
rat infested, not getting food. I mean, this is American citizen. You talk about these are legal people being here, blah blah blah. But this was American citizens sitting in Washington D.C. We let go for 4 years,
yeah.
and the media will not talk about it.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy how the people we let go. But there's actually, obviously, I'm a big UFC fan. I've got my UFC shirt on today.
Yep.
There's a UFC fighter who's retired who actually is in prison right now because he caught it was either a teacher or somebody at his son's school that was molesting his son. He found out about it. He chased the guy down the street and shot at him. Didn't hit him. Didn't kill him. Didn't hit anybody else. Obviously, shouldn't do that. But he's in jail for like attempted murder right now and he's got to serve like a minimum, I think, of like 10 years for wanting to kill the rapist of his son.
We protect him.
And Dana White, who owns the UFC, is trying to get Trump to pardon him, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not.
I hope he does.
Yeah.
I mean, this is crazy. We've
But it's
gotten
like
this
people
far.
like that will be in jail for like defending their son, and then you got
Yeah.
them going open arms about an MS-13 guy getting kicked out. Anyway, it's just backwards. Everything's just backwards.
It's a
I
backwards world.
I keep trying
Upside
to
down world.
Yeah, I just keep trying to hope it gets better. Obviously, Trump's only been in office 4 months now? January, February, March, April.
Not even that long, has he?
January,
March,
February,
April, 3 months.
February, March. Yeah, so he's only through the first quarter of his fiscal
Yeah,
term.
yeah.
So I give him another couple quarters to see where we
And
land
it's
in
probably
before
gonna take
I
at least a couple of quarters. It's going to take a while.
yeah. I'm just saying before I say like
And
how
that's,
I
you know,
give an opinion of what
we
he's
hadn't
doing.
talked about his first 100 days. We can go back on our next quick clip and do that if you want to.
We could do that.
All right.
We'll wrap
We're
this
way
one up.
over on this
We're
one.
way over.
All right.
Yep.
We'll catch you on the next one.
All right, guys.
When life gets unpredictable, turn to a partner you can trust. At Bobby Clary State Farm, we've got you covered. Whether it's home, auto, or life insurance, we're dedicated to providing personalized coverage that fits your needs. With our friendly and knowledgeable team, navigating your insurance options have never been easier. Visit bobbyclary.com or call 843-438-6000. Bobby Clary State Farm, here to help life go right.
Eisenhower Dental, located at 107 Waccamaw Medical Park Drive in Conway, a place where you can find all your dental services, including general dentistry, cosmetic, restorative, and pediatric dentistry. Reach out to them today at their website, eisenhowerdental.com, or call them at 843-234-3110, 843-234-3110, and tell them Wes the Economist sent you.
Thanks for listening to the Dollars and Cents Podcast with Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist and Wes the Economist. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and X at DollarsCentsGS and on Facebook at Dollars and Cents.